Going over the one thing that I wish I had known before I started reselling and before we get into it. And if you are just getting onto the channel and you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Bo. I'm a full-time eBay reseller for the past 2.5 years, 6 figures on eBay for the last year. We did $178,000 on sales last year selling men's and women's pre-owned clothing. So going back to my earlier days on eBay and figuring out what are the best strategies to optimize my store so I can be able to really take the items that I'm selling so they can eventually get found by the buyer and sold. So, what was the one key ingredient that was really making my sales go from okay to great with just selling plain old mall brand clothing? And it was the one thing that really helped propel me to the next level, and that was titles. Why are titles so important is because the eBay algorithm is a search based algorithm. And if we aren't structuring our titles correctly, so they could be found in search by the correct buyer, then we're going to have a hard time selling our items. So we do this every week, live eBay store reviews. We have a few from last week that we need to get into. And if you're wanting a free eBay store review, you could leave it in the comment section and we'll add you to the list. So the main thing we're going to be dealing with today are titles because they are that important. And it wasn't until I went back into my store and started restructuring titles to how common buyers were searching for my items. That is when the shift really started to happen, when my items that were sitting in my store for 300 days on end, not getting any views, not getting any watchers, but going back and restructuring their titles time and time again, those items that are stale and that are old started to move, started to sell. So let's get into the first store review by Sandcastle Daydream. We got their store pulled up from last week. I hope everyone's doing well. And also, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. We could do that too. I can, and I am allowed to answer questions as well. So, Sandcastle Daydream. Your photos look beautiful. They look sharp. They look well lit. The colors look great. So you have 257 items. You've sold 146 items. You're still kind of getting your roots in the dirt. You're still getting your feet on the ground as far as reselling. But I like what I see so far. You know, the one thing you want to start off the best that you can. You're not going to be great when you first start out, but if you could start off like this, if what you're seeing here, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is a lot better than when I first started my store. My clothing was crooked. My sleeves were all tangled up. Half the buttons weren't even buttoned up on the shirt. So it's like it takes time to develop all this, right? So right off the bat, you just have 250 items. It looks like you just started, and things look great. Your photos look good. Let's look into how much you're selling per day. A 1% rule is kind of what I like to use when you're just starting out. It's really going to be a good determining factor to see if you're pricing your items correctly, if you are picking up the right items, and how you're structuring your titles. So 1% of 250, we would love to be selling between 2 to 2.5 a day. So let's see if we can do that. I just use that as a barometer, as a quick gauge to see how the people are doing, you know. But if you're not selling 1% a day, don't freak out. That is okay. So let's see here. They've sold one item today, already halfway there. You sold 3, 4 on the 20th. That's very good for that store size. The 19th, you sold 2. That, again, is still really good for just 250 items. On the 18th, you sold another 2. And then on the 17th, I don't know what happened. You didn't have a sale. That's fine. You only have 250 items. So Peter Millar, you sold 1 Peter Millar polo on the 16th. And on the 15th, you had a couple sales. On the 14th, you had a couple. So I'm already going to say, just by looking at your last week, you're selling about 2 a day. And that should be really encouraging to you as you continue to build your store. That means you're picking up good items. That means you're pricing them correctly. But there's always something we could be doing a little bit better, right? There's always something in our store that we could do better to optimize our listings. So Let's just take a look at the titles real quick. We got Levi's 514 men's jeans 3234. While I like that initial structure, I would go Levi's 514 jeans men's 3234. So you're going to want to switch the gender and the item and just flip those back. So you have Levi's 5550 women's shorts. So you're just going to want to put the item after the brand. So you got ASOS women's shoes 12. That's pretty good. I would probably consider putting size in the title for shoes. That's what I do, as it does not get confused with product numbers or model numbers. Ozark Trail backpack. That's a good title. Arctic's youth jacket, large gray windbreaker vented mesh lined. Okay, so you could add in a full zip, you could add in soft shell, you could add in mock neck, you could add in lightweight. Just some more keywords into this title to help take advantage of all the 80 characters that they give you for your title creation. You got threads and motif women's large tunic. So I would do threads and motif shirt, women's large, and then tunic as a keyword. Let's just take a look at a few of these. I know some people do this type of photo, and that's great, but at the same time, when the buyer is scrolling through and they're looking through on their phone, you don't want to entice buyers to click onto a listing and then they just see this, right, and they go, oh, okay, this is interesting, and they go, oh, it's a 3/4 sleeve or it's a half sleeve and they wanted a long sleeve. So now they're going to click off. But if you had done this as your first photo, the person's going to get a better generalized idea of what the product is before they go clicking into it and realizing, oh, it's not a long sleeve shirt. So I just really encourage people to really help people avoid getting buyers to click on your listings and then click off. That's a metric that's going to be telling eBay that there's something wrong with this listing, because there's a ton of people clicking into it, but then they're clicking off for some reason. And that's how eBay gauges why these people aren't converting on your listing. So they're going to slowly start to push that listing down if they see more people clicking on that listing and then clicking off. So that is why I don't choose to use these types of photos like the close-ups. They are great photos, but that's why I don't use them for my first photo. So, but do what you'd like. That is just what I do. I think these look a lot better when you have the whole photo here of the whole item. It just looks better. You have MV Sport. I would put sweater men's 2XL. So there's just a few things, it's going to take a little bit of time, but not as much time if you had to go restructure the entire title. So you're just going to have to move a few things around. Your shipping price looks great. You have measurements in your listings. You got 2 measuring tapes right here. I mean, I applaud you for that. So that's good. You got measurements. That's good. That's good. They look clear. I like that you do have a condition description filled out. You got please consult photos and description for measurement sizing before purchasing. That's great. I like that. And you got some type of return policy, so that's great to see as well. So let's see some of your item specifics. You could use a few more on here. The style, you put Kurta tunic top. That is not a searchable item specific, so I would go in and just choose the ones that are available from the drop down menu. You never want to make up your own item specifics. You never want to put none. You never want to put NA, and you never want to fill out what you make up for an item specific, because it won't be searchable. It will not be read. You just want to choose the ones that are available under the drop down menu. But I would go in there and add in a few more item specifics. People always ask, oh, how many item specifics should I fill out? You should fill out the ones that are going to accurately describe your item. Why? Because they are searchable, and some item specifics are more searchable than others, so don't kill yourself filling out every single one, but you're going to want to hit the ones that are going to just make sense for you. Fabric type, is it fleece? What type of sleeve it is? What type of collar is it? Just those little things can make the big difference. And if you're struggling with sales and your titles are great and your price is great, start working and going into your oldest listings and working on some of the item specifics, updating them, checking what maybe there's a missing one. Maybe you misspelled a word in the brand. That can just throw things off as well. So there's many things we can do. I really like your item description. This is just really clear, bold, and laid out. I love these types of descriptions. One tip I would suggest to help save you time in your listing is that this size here of your pit to pit, your shoulder to hem, and your sleeve, that is not necessary. You don't need to put that. A lot of buyers don't even see that or read that. And I know from a seller's point of view, this is taking up a little bit of time that you have to do in each individual listing, looking up these measurements. So I just put the measurements in my photos, and then I refer to that throughout my listing. Please see photos for exact measurements, as size tag may differ from measured size. And I say that multiple times through my listing rather than putting every single measurement in my description, just to avoid mistakes on my end as well. So you have a nice little shipping policy. Say we ship Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and shop with confidence. All items are cleaned and stored according to eBay guidelines. This is beautiful. This is great. This is a great description for any people that are looking to come up with a good description. You're going to want to take something like this, make it your own. Please make it your own and create it as a template. Once you create it as a template, then you're able to use that drop-down menu in your item descriptions of all your listings and apply that template to each listing as your listing journey continues. But as you continue with that listings, you should only have to do that once or twice, because you would be hoping that you would be selling similar off your own listings throughout your eBay career. I really, really want to make the point that once you start to develop your store size into the couple hundreds, 500, 600, and you're selling the same types of items, you're really going to want to sell similar off of the things that are in your own store to avoid any confusion, to avoid bringing any other business policies from other sellers into your store. You really want to just know what you need to change in your listing, because when you bring in selling similar off of other people's listings, you're bringing in all the other baggage that you have no idea what this person was doing. So you're going to have to go in and not only correct their mistakes that they did on their listing, but then you're going to have to update it, the listing, to whatever is going to accurately describe your item. So selling similar off your own items is going to be the eventual key as you continue to list more items. But looking at this store, I think that it hits all the marks as far as like going in the right direction. You're definitely going to want to switch a few little things up in your title, like Voyager jacket, men's 2XL. You want Columbia vest, men's 2XL. You want Peter Millar shirt, men's 2XL. You want Johnny O shirt, men's 2XL polo. So those are the ways that I would prefer to title my titles, structure them, because that's the majority of buyers of how they're searching. They're searching Nike shirt, they're searching Adidas pants, so you really want to fall into that broad category of search results when buyers are searching for your items. So I would just take those few little corrections and add them, knock out 5-10 listings a day in your bulk editor. You're picking up great brands: Athleta, Vineyard Vines, Nike, Columbia. So keep doing what you're doing. Just go in and tweak some of your listings titles. And maybe experiment with some of your photos too. I know you like to do this with the front close-up. Try doing the big picture of the item. I think that's really going to help for you. So getting into chat, what's going on? We got Sal. Go subscribe to Sal Leota's YouTube channel, everybody. He's putting out some good content, some behind-the-scenes reseller life. Marcus is here. What is going on, brother? We got the Mikey Boo. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Appreciate y'all. Brenda, what's going on? I'm bulk editing my eBay right now as I watch the video. That is amazing. Talk about some grit and determination. You are in the bulk editor now. That's amazing. Getting people to the bulk editor is the key for the videos. Getting people getting into their bulk editor, going into their oldest listings and fixing those, because even I have listings from 400 days ago. So it's just a continual process. As you continue to learn new keywords, learn new items that you're listing, you're going to apply that knowledge that you're learning now and take it back, rewind a year or two ago. And when you didn't know anything and now start to go update some of your oldest listings, it will be a game changer. There's multiple people that have reached out and have said this, that they go back to their oldest listings, tweak a few things, some keywords, some title structure, in the item sells. So, did I miss my store review? You are next, my friend. You're next. You came right in time for the party. I didn't forget about you. You are on. So, Fart Sack Jack. Hey, Bo. What's going on? We're here. We're out here. The ATL flippers. What's going on, buddy? Fart Sack Jack says, I missed my store review. Oh, did we? Well, are you Sandcastle Daydream? We got San Marcos next, and then we got Reggie Lin's Place. So maybe that one's yours? Fart Sack Jack? I don't know. So leave blank if you ain't find exact word. Exactly. Yes. For the item specifics. Yes. Midwest Picker says, I have an issue with the eBay app not saving item specifics. Yeah. The eBay app was designed for the consumer and not the seller. So the only thing that I use my eBay app for is responding to messages and sometimes some offers, but the app has really got a lot of issues. So don't be surprised when you are doing listings and things don't get saved. You know, it's not a surprise. So that's why I do all my listings from the computer. I would highly suggest, if you're thinking about doing eBay long term, the sooner that you can make the conversion to a laptop, to a desktop PC, the faster you are going to get better. The faster you are you're going to get, to updating your item specifics, to creating orders, doing all the things that are necessary. Doing them from the phone just can be a little bit of a hassle in dealing with things like losing item specifics for listings. Miss Lachey, what's going on? She's here. Philip Smith says, hey, all, new as a couple weeks ago. Thanks, Bo and Marcus, for what you do. Hey, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. San Marcus says, putting my paper bag on my head just in case. Hey, we're going to be harsh on you. No, it's fine. We're gonna give you some good, encouraging stuff to use so you can apply to get more sales. Yeah, Fart Sack Jack says, I hate using my phone. Yeah, me too. New to the channel. Philip says, new to the channel as a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so I just read that. I don't know why it came back up again. Sal says, everyone smash the like button. Appreciate ya. And the Mikey Boo 2004 says, my message keeps disappearing, so I guess I don't get a review. Interesting. Well, just add it to the comments, and then I'll look you up, and then I'll add you in. So we don't have too many more to go through. Sandcastle Daydream, your review is done. So we are next. On to the next one. San Marcos, we got you. Let's take a look. Let's see. We gotcha. Yeah, Bass and Coffee. I saw your comment come in. If you just want to leave your store name there, and I will add it to the list. So, San Marcos, I'm liking the vibe from your store. It's got a nice retro vintage feel. I don't know if that was just from the banner, but it seems like that's kind of the direction you're wanting to head. You got 100% feedback. You got 5,000 items nearly sold, and you have a 1,000 item store. Let's get right into looking at how many items you're selling per day, just on average, so we can get an idea on your store performance. So today, you already got 3 sales. Beautiful. And remember, 1% a day is ideal, and that means your store's kicking butt. If we can get 1% sell-through in our store every day, you got a hot store. So you got 3 so far today. What about yesterday? You had 1, 2. On the 19th, you had 5. On the 18th, you had 2. On the 17th, you had 4. On the 16th, you had 1. On the 15th, you had 5. On the 14th, you did really well. On the 14th, good God. Yeah, you got like 10 on the 14th. On the 13th, you got 1. It's kind of just a little all over the place. Let's just say you're selling between 4 and 5 a day, about half of percent sell-through rate. Not bad. You have 1,000 items in your store. Let's look at some of your newest titles and see what we can do to get better. I think your photos look good. You are selling a little bit of everything. I'm curious as to like the direction of your store. Do you want to continue to keep selling what you're picking up? Or do you want to eventually like niche down into just clothing or hard goods? Seems like you have some good sports stuff mixed in too. So anytime I see the short titles, like with anything, with any category, I always try to figure what else can I add as a keyword into these titles that just makes sense, right? That are going to accurately point to this item as a keyword. So really be diligent on your studies as far as, what else can I be adding to fill out this title a bit more? NCAA, football, some things like that, sports, just some other keywords that are going to help point to your item so a buyer can find it. That's all I think about when I see short titles is like I really try to fill out my titles as much as I can without keyword spamming and finding out keywords that are going to accurately describe this item. So you got some good lots of hats up here. That's pretty good. Big old lot of 10 hats for $20. The shipping price might be a little questionable on that. I don't know who's going to pay $17.05 for shipping. And a lot of the times when I see that, that means you could be doing calculated shipping on these listings, which is fine, but it will mess up with your shipping price. As you see here, I don't know how many buyers are going to pay $17 to have 10 hats shipped to me. Just wondering what was going on there, or if that's just what you're strategizing. But yeah, so I know that 10 hats would weigh over a pound, but you should be able to ship this for a little bit cheaper. See, $17.05 hats. Your t-shirt shipping prices look good. You're doing a close-up of the graphic. That's great. Let's see. So just like same here again, like some of the shorter titles. You got Philadelphia Phillies shirt, which is great. I would do men's Philadelphia Phillies shirt, men's extra large, and then you're going to want to put MLB, baseball, sports, athletic, outdoor, pullover, cotton blend. You're going to want to maybe a keyword the graphic, which is it's a bell, so you could put bell in there as a keyword. Definitely be looking at the graphic and thinking of how many keywords can I get off of this graphic to describe that item. So you have a Guy Harvey shirt, size medium. So this title needs some work. Guy Harvey shirt, men's, medium. Leave out the word size, spell out the word medium, and then you're going to want to put things like nautical, boat, fishing, swordfish, marlin, things like that are going to accurately describe your item. You're going to want to put the color of the shirt, blue. So things like that, ocean, beach, filling it out just a bit more. Cowboy Bebop shirt, men's, size small, and then you're going to want to come up with some more keywords to describe that item as well. So also, too, don't be afraid to take photos of the entire item, kind of like how you have here. You have this baseball Gonzaga Bulldogs shirt right down here of the whole item. I can see the entire item. Try messing around with that with some of your graphic tees. And then you can always make the second photo that up close of the graphic, just so people can click into your item and avoid them clicking off. Um, but as far as like the stuff that you have, it's pretty good, pretty priced pretty decent as well. You got some Rockaware, you have some Bruce Springsteen. So yeah, just going back to the titles of these, like Bruce Springsteen shirt, men's XL, and then you're going to want to get some keywords to accurately describe that. Guitar, music, short sleeve, cotton blend, band, grunge, rock and roll, things like that. So, but the hardest part of all this reselling is literally finding the right items to sell. So you've done a good job there as far as you're finding decent brands. You have 1,000 item store. You've been doing this for a little bit, but I think going in and doing the optimization as far as the titles is really going to help you. This is why we focus on the basics here, because it is through the basics and mastering those basics that builds a firm foundation of your business. You can always be up and down with what you find, but if you can create the perfect listing that has great photos, priced perfectly, and the title structure is on point, then finding the items is, less of a worry. So just going in, fix some of your titles, adding to some titles that might be short. That's really going to make a big difference for you. I know it does sound like a pain, but just start with 5 a day. Even at 1,000 items, starting with 5 or 10 a day, you'd be surprised. In a couple months, you'd be done. So just don't overwhelm yourself. Pick some of your oldest listings first and start going through them. I think your photos look good. Shipping price looks decent. You may want to look into giving a bigger discount for people on those lots of hats. But your item description, I would probably add in something where you have more of your policies, your shipping policy. How is the item stored? How is it cleaned? What is your return policy? All of that stuff can be helpful for you. Also, putting in some type of condition description. You might be listing from the phone, but if you're listing from the desktop, you're able to kind of have more control over what you put in your condition description. I say that because more than 50% of shoppers on eBay are shopping on their mobile phone. And when they're scrolling through eBay on their phone, they only get a really short chance of reading the condition description. It's usually just like cut off 4 or 5 words. So you want to be able to put something there that can help accurately describe your item, whether it has a stain or a hole or what's the type of wear that's going on with it. I do like your return policy, and I like your shipping price for those hats, for the single hats. So good job there. Getting back into it, we got Mikey Boo. So Mike's Mega Market. I'm going to add you in right now. We don't forget Mike's Mega Market. All right, we got you, Mike. We got you pulled up. You're here. All right. And then Bass and Coffee, we got you on deck too. Let's see. Bass and Coffee. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we did a store review a while ago, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the update is. Yeah, if I've reviewed your store in the past and you kind of want to follow up, I'm all about that. Put it in the comments section. I don't just do one and you're done. I want to see continual progress. So, if you're implementing what I'm telling you and things are moving along and it's been a month or two, post your store again. I'll be glad to take a look at it again, because I'm here to not just help you once and be done. Selling on eBay is a lifelong process, so I'm always going to try to figure out if I can help you. On that second time around, I'm going to try my best. So we got you pulled up. KS Busby says, Posh has been my main area of focus and finally switched to eBay. Mainly, I know with Posh, you price high and wait for offers. Is that good on eBay too, or price closer to sold comp and not expect offers? Okay, yeah, eBay is a totally different arena as far as selling. You definitely want to price closer to what the market's telling you. I think that is going to be your strategy for any business that you open. Poshmark, it's I don't sell on there, so I can't speak on too much about it, but that's just what I hear generally. Kind of what you said. But yeah, for eBay, you definitely don't want to be using the strategy of price high and wait for offers, because your item will just never sell. Not only will you not get offers, you just won't sell your item at all. So I price at the market and then I turn on best offers. So I'm always ready to give the buyer a deal. I'm always ready to open to offers. I'm always open to negotiate. So that's how I do it. Definitely going to want to price your items closer to what the comps are telling you, and will also depend on the types of items you're picking up. So my mall brand type clothing with 50% or lower sell-through rate, I'm generally pricing at the middle of the market and ready to get that item out of my store as soon as possible. If you're dealing with items that are like 100% sell-through rate and above, that is where it's going to be up to you, but I would typically price more towards the higher end of the market on those higher sell-through items. So I hope that was helpful for you. San Marcos says, well, today, those license plates were near my apartment's trash area. Can't say no to free stuff, but mainly shirts and hats. Okay, cool. Hey, I agree with that too. If you found that by your apartment, yes, good score right there. Good job. That's important, because you're managing resources and you will be paid, with the effort that you're putting in. So good job there. But I saw the overall theme of your store was mainly clothes. So that's good. Keep doing what you're doing, but definitely suggest adding a little more characters to your titles, and then maybe structuring some of your titles to where it's brand, item, gender, size, and then you can start plugging away in the keywords after that size. So, but good stuff. You said, I don't know how to fix that eBay downfall. Don't know why that appears. It's £2 priority. Yeah, I do a flat rate shipping on all my items, and I just have 3 different flat rate shipping prices. So maybe you want to set it as a flat rate shipping price, and I could see you fitting those hats into, either a UPS ground rate, or you can ship USPS priority cubic rate, and it should be a little less. But you're going to have to play around with the settings there to figure out so you're not losing money on shipping. Fartsack Jack says, I'm going to have to miss my review. I have to get ready to leave for the doctor. I'll watch later. Well, this is the beauty of YouTube. It'll all be recorded, and just watch it whenever. If you have questions, you can just follow up in the comment section, and we can also review this on next week. So we do this every week. For the foreseeable future, I'm going to be doing this every week, every Wednesday. Maybe sometimes we'll switch it to Friday. We are going to be reviewing people's stores. So this is going to be a continual thing. Be more best. Did I miss my store? Layla B Finds. I'm going to add you, but I did not see Layla B Finds. But we're going to add you on, because we do not miss anyone's stores. Okay. I'm pulling you up. We're going to find you. All right. Well, you might have to reach out on Instagram or leave it in the comment section. But I'm typing in Layla B Finds, and I do not find anything. So you're gonna just try to leave a comment to one of your links or listings, and then I can find it that way. How do we get a store review? Sorry, I missed the details. Yeah, so just if we don't get to today, just comment on any of these live streams and I add you to the list. So for next week, I usually can knock out 5 to 7 per week, depending on how many questions come in and whatnot. But eventually you will be reviewed. So yeah, if you do want to review, just drop it in the comments and I'll be happy to check it out. Deidre says DD Media and Pretty Finds. Okay, so is that all one? Wow. Okay, so DD Media and Pretty Finds. All right, Leah. I'm just already have failed at the pronunciation, but I found your store. So I found it. You're added. You are ready to go. And now DD Media and Pretty Finds. We're gonna look you up too as well. Let's see. All right. Maybe if you want to also leave a link to one of your listings, because not all the time am I able to find people's stores, because sometimes they don't have a store and it's just under their username. But that's kind of what we're at right now. Oh, I found you. DD Media and Pretty Finds. Okay, we got you. After I open 1,000 tabs. Okay, we got you. So KS Busby says, that's what I thought. Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah, Posh is crazy. Yeah, it can be. It can be, definitely. Okay, so getting back into it, we got Reggie Lin's place. Hopefully they catch us on the replay, but we got you. You're here. So Reggie Lin's place, we got 640 items, 272 sold. We want to see 1% sell-through rate, which would be awesome. So you are selling... You sold 2 on the 20th. You sold 3 on the 19th. 4 on the 18th, and then you went about 4 days with no sales. And then on the 14th, you had 1 sale. 13th, you had 2. On the 12th, you had 1. Yeah, so it's kind of all over the place, and that is how it is when you sell a little bit of everything. That's just how it is. When you sell a little bit of everything and you're selling wallets and pecan holders and video games and guitar string heads and DVDs, and you got Tupperware, you got a dancing skull pendant, there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Though, just be prepared for sales to be up and down. Some days you got 5, 6 sales, some day you get none. So that's the difference. And you got 640 items, so it's not a huge everything store. Let's see how we could be working on our titles. I think the titles for your postcards look really good. You have them well filled out. That can really help with, things that are not so the search volume in postcards is small, so you're going to want to really focus on a lot of keywords that are going to help accurately describe your item. You got 1930s ? Metal book marker. The Lord is with you. So there's definitely some changes we can make to that title. If it's a metal book marker, you're just going to want to put metal book marker, the Lord is with you, without quotations, and then you could put vintage, 1920s, 1930s. You can, just describe. You could put biblical, you could put Bible, you could put Jesus. You just want to add some more keywords into that title that are going to be relevant to that item you're listing. Vintage brass and wooden child spoon made in Thailand. So as well, same thing, some other keywords like eating, food, spoon, things like that. You would be it is surprising to me that how many listings that I review on a weekly basis, there still is time and time again where people will actually leave out the item out of the entire title. Like, they'll describe everything beautifully, and it's a shirt, but they leave out the word shirt. So when you're leaving out the actual item, that can be really detrimental to almost to the point where your item could never be found. You always want to do brand and item 100% in your titles whenever you are making a listing, and that's for anything, for auto parts, whatever. You want the item type to be described in there. But I think that you do a good job with filling out the actual titles and the amount. So let's just click into one of your listings here. Your photos look okay. I almost think that they're a little dark. Like some of them with the background where it's just a little darker. I don't know if that's just me, but maybe some of the postcards can use a little more lighting. Yeah, let's see here. You have a really nice condition description, you have a good shipping price, and then you do 14-day returns. And you have a great amount of photos, so that's pretty nice. So that's good there. I would probably look to add a few more keyword or item specifics in your listing. You have about 6 here. So if you can, try. If you cannot, that's okay. Your item description could use a little bit of work. If you kind of just know where I'm coming from, you just want to keep it very basic when it comes to your item description. You don't want to get, paragraphs and paragraphs. My name's Bo, born and raised San Luis Obispo County. I'm 28 years old, and you just want to leave a simple item description. You don't want to put your whole biography. You don't want to just simple eBay policy, your policy, your return policy, and then reach out if you have questions. That's how I like to keep it. Very simple. So I think just going back to how things were, if you are going to be listing clothing, you want to be able to do brand, item, gender, size, and just focus on having that type of title structure for your clothing. So like you want to use the word hat right after the brand or the football team or sports team name. The item type is going to need to be as close as to the brand or the football team. So I'm going to be doing John Deere hat, and then I'm going to do black mesh. I'm going to use the keyword trucker as a keyword towards the end of the title. So Minnesota Twins hat, Chicago White Sox hat. And I would really avoid using any question marks, because if you're putting a question mark, then what is the buyer going to think? They're also going to be questioning, what is it? So I would not, if you don't know with 100% certainty, just leave it out. But good stuff. Maybe just focus on bringing a little more light into your listings, into your photos, and then fixing some of your clothing title structures. Your shipping price looks good. You are selling a little bit of everything, so just don't be surprised if you have 1,000 item store and you're selling between 5 and 6 items a day, and that could be the max. Because like I said, the volume in a lot of these categories ranges. Like you're selling a brake manual, so that's going to gain a lot different search traffic than a 1920s postcard. So just keep that in mind as you continue to grow your store, and maybe figure out if you do want to do eBay full time and you're really getting amped up and pumped up, start to narrow down, okay, I really like selling postcards, or I like selling, whatever you see that you've been listing that you've really had a good time selling and you see it abundant in your area, maybe start to consider to niche down so you can continue to get more steady traffic, which will lead to steady sales. So there was a super chat came in from my buddy Sal. I just want to say I appreciate you. Thank you. It is not needed. I do this because I love helping people, and I appreciate you, though. Thank you. Sal's a great member in our Patreon that's really just in the last few months is like unrecognizable on where he started and now where he's at. So I appreciate that, Sal. Thank you. But also, again, you guys don't need to tip. Be more best, $2. I appreciate you. Hey, I'm here to help you guys, because I always think back to how I was 2.5 years ago, really just needing some direction. And I want to take the things that I've learned in the last couple years and condense it down into some easily digestible information to help you guys be as successful as you can be as this journey continues. I will say this, that this industry is pretty interesting, and in the last few years there's been more and more people getting into it. There's been more and more people getting into reselling, and as well people shopping secondhand. So if you have a small store now and maybe you're not seeing the sales that you want to see, that is okay, because the opportunity is really start to ramp up here in the next few years ahead. If you go search up ThreadUp 2023 annual report, it will show in that report on kind of the data of where the secondhand market is headed, and it's supposed to double in market cap by 2027. So if you're, maybe don't have the best store right now, that's okay, because you have 3 years, 4 years to get it going. So let's get started now on how we can apply some of these business principles to our store so we can capitalize on the market increasing in the future. So you guys don't worry if sales are slow now, because we're going to fix that. And if we can fix that, then we're able to have more opportunities for more sales as the market grows. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the super chats. So the ADL flippers, okay, bringing classics back to life. I'm going to add you on the list. Bringing classics back to life. Ooh. All right. Okay. We bringing classics back to life. eBay. All right, cool. Got it. We found you. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, so I got you pulled up. Very good. Awesome. Clothing, shoes, and more. So she's asking, how do you find items that will sell on Poshmark? And then and again, treasures for review. All right. Then and again, treasures. I'm also thinking if this tends to be a little bit more, I might just pop on Saturday to finish up the reviews, because it's been I hate having people wait, and I would really just like to knock them all out. But we'll see. That's a TBD. But I added you. Then and again, treasures for review. Somewhat damaged Hybo. Please add to the list for review. Whiskey Locker. All right. Whiskey Locker. Where? Okay. Then again, treasures and a Whiskey Locker. Okay, so we got you pulled up, and we're going. I need to really speed things up. Bassin Coffee says, sorry, I'm still admiring the video and audio quality of your stream. It's top notch. Oh, it's working? It's working. All right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. There was some technical difficulties with internet the last few days, so I'm happy that I'm coming in. We didn't have to fire up the dial-up. Tracy Donald says, Tracy Donald 6 for review. Okay. We got you. All right, so we got Mike's Mega Market is next. All right, so let me close that. Whew. All right, so Mike's Mega Market, we got you. So 332 items, 707 sold. That's very nice. You look like you're selling a little bit of everything as well. But the photos look good. They look clear, and they look well lit. The other ones in the last store just seemed dark to me. 332. So let's see what you're selling. Be nice to be seeing 3 a day. You've sold 2 already, so that's good. You sold 1 on the 20th. Whoa, 4 on the 19th. Very good. You sold 2 on the 18th, 2 on the 17th. 3 on the 16th. Very good. For your store size and an everything store, this is good. This is good. That means you're pricing items correctly. That means you're listing them in the correct categories. That means your titles are being accurately described to the items that you're listing. So you sold 332 items. How much have you sold in the last 90 days? So you've just about sold 50% of your inventory in the last 90 days. So what does this mean? That means if you don't list anything for the next 3 to 6 months, you'll have nothing in your store. Good and a bad thing, so keep listing. Your sell-through rate's really good for having an everything store. To sell 50% of your inventory over 90 days, that's nice. That should be some good news to keep doing what you're doing. Let's look at how you can get better, though. I always believe there's something we can do. Your titles look good. Your photos look good. Let's take a look at some of the listings. Got a lot of Legos. That's good. So you got free shipping on this lotion. 30-day returns. Your photos, plenty of photos. Very good. And you put new. You got a nice item description there. Not too crazy, not a bunch of text. So a little brief description. And you got some item specifics that are filled out. Okay. Very good. And then you got your Legos, Lego DC Superhero Girls, Harley Quinn to the rescue, and you put in the model number and unknown completeness. So probably not a complete package. All right. Cool. I mean, your photos are good. You have plenty of photos, and you have a good return policy with the free shipping. So I wonder how that's working out for you. I don't do free shipping for any of my items because, sorry, I wasn't sharing. But I don't do free shipping for any of my items because if there is a problem on the buyer side and, they file an item not as described, I'm not able to withhold original shipping. So that can kind of be costly down the road. But, yeah, so getting back into a few other your listings, I do like the fact that you're using almost all of the characters in your titles, so that's really good. But you are selling a little bit of everything. So you're really needing to do a lot of research on comps. You got to make sure, are you pricing it competitively? You have a lot of free shipping turned on. So I get it with hard goods. But there might be some times where you may want to consider charging for shipping. So for that reason that I explained, if I do get a lot of returns and I offer free shipping, then I'm not able to withhold original shipping for buyer remorse returns, doesn't fit, ordered by mistake, and all that. I want to be able to withhold shipping on that. So that's the only thing I would probably play around with here. You have a really good sell-through rate. I would just say keep doing what you're doing. And without you, I don't know if you're here, but it would be interesting to know what is kind of your listing habit. What is like your goal? Like, what are people's goals when they start an everything store? Is it to build a 50,000 item everything store? I don't know. You can be really successful just selling everything, but once you start expanding into the thousands, storage, shipping, all that becomes a bit trickier than just selling clothes like what you see behind me here. But yeah, I just say keep doing what you're doing. I always suggest going back to your oldest listings first and seeing what you could do better. AJ Street says, where is the comment section? So either after the video ends, you could comment down below your store name, or you are in the comment section for the live stream. So if you leave it here, I can add it to the list. I think I'm putting mine in live chat. Yeah, you can put it in the chat, and I will look for your store name. Jason says, just started back up. Well, good. Deuce's Chance Preserve T2T. All right. I'm adding you. Okay. So I added you to the list, and this live stream, I always just like to really make known of understanding the items that you're selling. So if you cannot understand the items that you're selling, it's going to be hard for you to be able to match that item with the correct buyer. It took me quite some time to get familiar with some of the women's clothes that I'm listing here today. It took me over a year, over 2 years, I would say, of really hammering down all the different sleeve types, all of the different collar types, the materials, the fabric types. It took me a long time, which is why I developed this guide for the complete guide of clothing item specifics for eBay. You could check it out, linked in the description down below, where it covers over hundreds of definitions and descriptions for item specifics for you to be able to master the items that you're selling, to be able to structure the keywords correctly, and to be able to take advantage of what is to come with this market doubling in the next 3 years. So you can find it below. There is also a hard copy on Amazon available for a deep discount as well. I find that having a hard copy can be better because you're able to have it on hand with you at all times while you're doing your listings, or have it for a book to read at night, and it can be easy on the eyes and you're not looking at your screen and whatnot. But you can also download the ebook as well if that makes sense for you. So really helps support the channel. And for me, I was just tired of going back into Google, searching for what is a cowl neck, going back into Google, searching for what is a domain sleeve, all these different item specifics, right? Now it's all condensed and curated into one 130-page book. So enjoy. I hope that is helpful for you. And we got Bass and Coffee pulled up. We're doing a second review. We're going to see what are the things that you've updated. What are some things that you've done? If you are still here, please comment. What are some changes that I suggested the first time? And have you seen any noticeable difference or change? I do remember going over your store. So just wanted to get reminded what did we do the first time. I really like the consistency of the photos. They're all cropped like the same. I like that. They're all structured the same. I like that. I love asymmetry. It just looks nice, looks neater, it looks clean, it looks like you care, it looks like you take your time. That all matters from a buyer's point of view. From a seller's point of view, you just want to get the thing done, right? But from a buyer, you're looking at, okay, this person cares. It looks great. You got 759 items and you've sold 4,000. Let's look at your sell-through rate as a whole in the last 90 days. So 700 and some items and you've sold 599. Hey, I tell you what, Bass and Coffee, you got a kick butt store on your hands right there. If you're selling 600 of your 762 items, there's not much else I can tell you to really make an impact. You're almost selling through your whole store on a 90-day basis. That's great. That's what everyone should strive for. Let's look at some of your newest listings. You got Kennington shirt, men's small, beautiful, and I love your keywords there. Great job. Alexander Wang shirt, women's small, beautiful, great job. Dealing with the long sleeve, short sleeve kind of topic. We covered this in the Patreon call this morning. Marcus did, and it just makes sense, right? If you are listing a long sleeve shirt or a short sleeve shirt in the correct category, the item specific you're selecting, whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve, is searchable, thus really just eliminating the need to be able to reiterate long sleeve or short sleeve in the title. So if you're able to find another keyword that can replace the word long sleeve or short sleeve, that's going to give you a better advantage to be able to have your item found. So long sleeve and short sleeve for me are kind of the lowest of the types of keywords that you want to put into your item or your title, because those are chosen as an item specific, which are searchable. So if you were to replace the word long sleeve and maybe replace it with like light academia, preppy, modern, college, some keywords that are going to be relevant to the item that you're listing. So if you're ever short of keywords and you really need to use one like long sleeve or short sleeve, go ahead. But definitely be researching more keywords all the time and never stop. So Howler Brothers shirt, men's XL, great job. Carhartt scrub top. With these scrubs, I know they are scrubs. I would do Carhartt shirt, men's XL, and then I would use scrubs as a keyword right after the size. That is what I do. Helly Hansen sweater, men's large, black, full zip, long sleeve. So you have your keywords being black, full zip, long sleeve. I would just try to avoid long sleeve and going back to this and figuring out what are some keywords that people would wear, who's wearing the Helly Hansen jackets and sweaters out there. So develop some keywords surrounding that. You can even do the material type, polyester blend, fleece, collared, zip pockets, athletic, outdoor, sportswear, things like that. If you're really needing help with keywords, just check this out. Linked in the comments. I'm putting this for you guys. Vendu did a research study on trending keywords for the times that we're in, and kind of what is the generations below us, below them, millennials, the Gen Zers, the Gen whatever they're calling them now. What are they using to call things? So you can check out this article that Vendu did. Very helpful. It goes through all of the different trending keywords that the younger generations are using to call some of this style of clothing. You have the, of course, athleisure, light academia is more like a preppy kind of look. You got ballet core, you got Barbie core, you got biker core, bohemian. You're able to pull out a lot of trending keywords that you might want to start adding to your titles, as these are the most searched keywords on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, Facebook. These are the trending keywords right now. We got classic core, we got coconut girl, we got cottage core, croquette, we got cosplay, we got cute goth, dark academia, fairy core, festival. And if this is new to you, that's good, because this is the way things are trending. This is the way things are going. And I think it's really important to always be freshening up on your keywords. Also, to go into some of the descriptions, and maybe you can pull out even more keywords from that aesthetic. So you got mall goth, you got witch core, you got whimsy goth, grandma core, grandpa core, heritage, kawaii, kid core, mermaid core, minimalist, norm core. We'll go on forever. I'll save a few for you guys, but check that out. If you're struggling with keywords, bookmark that page. Have ChatGPT do a summary on that page, and that will help you create more titles, better titles that can actually be relevant. We're not just making up keywords. These are actually trending keywords on huge platforms. So that's why I think it can be helpful for you guys who may be having a harder time developing keywords for your clothing items. So we added a few people. Jason, you said, how do I get you to review my eBay store? Just leave a comment where you're typing in the live comments, and I will add it to the list. But getting back into Bass and Coffee store review, I think you're doing a great job. Your brands look great. Your pricing looks pretty good. You do win the award of selling, 600 items out of 700 items. That's great. Just continue to do what you're doing. Make no major changes, but always go back to your oldest listings and see what things are sticking out as far as title structure and whatnot. So that's really going to be helpful for you. But I can tell you have been working hard. The titles look really good. The photos pop. They look really crispy, clean. The color, you're you're taking photos that are accurately describing used clothing. You're not making this used piece of clothing look any better than it is, and that's important when you sell pre-owned clothing. So, great price here, good little condition description, free returns, and good shipping price. So, perfect description. I really love this type of description. If any of you are looking to figure out how to write a item description, take a look at this, see what they did there, and make your own spin on it. Do something similar where it's very easy to read with bullet points, with some bolded text to be able to really relay the crucial information that you want to the buyer, to also help you avoid getting item not as describes. So very good job. Good listings. Great job. And if you're catching on the replay, Bass and Coffee, just comment on kind of where you're at now and what you've changed. But good job. Jason, you said I did, but it keeps disappearing. Interesting. I don't know. Jason, just keep commenting it, and I'll see it. It'll come through. It should. So, good job, Bass and Coffee. We're gonna go into Layla B Finds. I'm just gonna call it that. So, 2,300 items. You've sold 12,000. This ain't your first rodeo. Photos look good. They look a little cropped in on some, so I don't know if that's just like a space issue or what's going on there, but ideally you want them to be more centered, like this Express MK2 shirt. See how it's more centered there? That's really nice. It just looks aesthetically better, more professional. But your photos still look good. They look clear. When I am doing photos, I really just want to make sure that the color is as accurate as it can be and that they're well lit. The cropping can be fixed. Just take a one step back extra. So 2,300 items. Let's see how your 90-day sell-through rate is looking. Wow, very good job. You've sold almost 1,000 of those 2,300 items. So if you didn't list anything for 6-7 months, you'd be out of business, which is a good thing. Well, good in the fact that you're selling your items. But let's take a look at some of your newest listings. You got Anna blouse, top, long sleeve, button up, plaid, women's size, small, multicolored. So a lot of things going on with this title that we can correct. A new approach is definitely a lower tier brand, and I know it's new at tags, so maybe there was a reason you picked it up, but this brand in general is a lower bottom of the barrel brand, but does not mean it cannot sell if it's priced correctly. It may just take some time to sell, but you're going to want to do NANA, a new approach, shirt, women's, small. And then you're going to want to put in button up, Western, pockets as keywords. So you have it all kind of mixed up here. It would be ANA, shirt, women's, small. That's how I would do that one. Let's look into a couple other. You got vintage, Alexander, Julian, colors, sweater, men's, 3XLT. So you want to avoid using size as a keyword, and you want to just use the 3XLT. And then, like I said in the previous store review, is long sleeve, short sleeve. Those keywords in your title are already chosen as item specifics, so you may want to consider coming up with something a little different. But some of the titles look great. Like, that one would look good, but this one needs work. Dockers green striped crew neck sweater size to it, so you don't even have the gender in there, and that's really important. There's 4 things that you cannot do without when you are structuring your titles. That is brand, and then the item, and then the gender and the size, and those all need to be close together in that order to be able to capitalize on the majority of buyers that are searching your items. So we have Dockers green striped crew neck sweat. So how many people are typing in Dockers green striped crew neck sweater, and then how many people are typing in Dockers sweater? So you want this listing to fall into the search results of Dockers sweaters, not Dockers green striped crew neck sweater. That's going to be very minimal on the search volume. So reorganize things, take out the word size, put in the gender, and that will be fixed. You have another one here, Dockers men's dress sweater. So you're going to want to put Dockers sweater men's 2XL. St. John's Bay shirt men's 2XL. See, you did great there. St. John's Bay shirt men's 2XL T. Very good. That's exactly how you want to do it. Just like that. Just like that. Sonoma lifestyle button-down shirt, men's size 2XLT, blue plaid. See, that needs some work. We want Sonoma shirt, men's 2XLT. So structure sweater, men's 2XL. We want Covington shirt, men's 2XL. So you have the right keywords. They just need to be reorganized. That's all. Some of the titles look perfect. Some of the titles do not. St. John's Bay sweater, men's 2XL. So you want to avoid using size as a keyword. So yeah, just those little things, little tweaks can help you go further faster. Start with your oldest listings first, and then apply what you've just learned to your newest listings. So, but very good sell-through rate. You should be encouraged, because if you're selling 1,000 of your 2,300 items, that's a really nice place to be. But there are some things you could do to sell more items. So just go in, fix the titles. I know that's going to be really helpful for you. So getting back into it, Bass and Coffee, you're still here. So I have been listing 7 new listings a day and fixing old listings a day as well. I have noticed after the change that the older listings have been selling. Yeah, time and time again, we have Patreon members going in doing that. We have people of the channel going in and doing that. We have people on Instagram reaching out saying they've fixed their titles and they've gotten more sales. So it's not some sort of voodoo, magic, wizardry. It's literally just optimizing your title so it can be better found in search. What is eBay's algorithm? Like, what is it? What is it? It is called Cassini. And if you look up Cassini algorithm on Google, you will learn much more about the eBay algorithm than probably anywhere on YouTube. So you want to be able to study, what is Cassini? How does it match buyers and sellers? How does that all work? And when it all comes down to it, it's just about tapping in to keyword research in the search-based algorithm, so we can put our listings in front of the correct buyers. So that's why we focus on titles. That's why we really focus on the basics like keywords. So that's really good news, Bass and Coffee. You have a really nice store as well. Keep doing what you're doing. Midwest Pecker says, I enjoy your channel. Helpful information. Hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Everybody who comes in, leaves comments, I'm just fulfilled whenever someone, hey, I did this and it helped me this way. Those comments are fulfilling. They really help me break through the ups and downs of reselling, and it's just really a blessing to see. It really is. I've always loved helping people. And, if I could take what I've learned and the mistakes that I've made and help you guys avoid those mistakes, even better. So I appreciate that. Bass and Coffee says, my titles are now brand, item, gender, size. I saw that. Very good job. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't be afraid. I guess just don't be discouraged by if you think you're not at where you should be, because at that slow growth, if you continue to take that sell-through rate with you as your store grows to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 items, you're going to have a really, really nice business working very, very minimal. So just keep growing your store at the pace that you can manage. But really good store review. I liked that one. I love seeing stores where their sell-through rates are almost 100% to what they have listed. So we have a couple more stores on the list. I'm going to add you guys to next week's store review. We get to about 5 to 7 a week. I am thinking about maybe doing a Saturday stream. We will see. or just making this some type of 2, 3, 4 hour live stream. But I do need to get back to putting things away for my eBay store. If you guys are maybe wanting a little accountability, or maybe you just need a little community of other resellers also growing their stores, you could check out linked down below where Marcus, Dixon, and I have a reseller mentorship. Right now we have a 7-day free trial. You can try it, see if you like it. You could join about 33 other members growing their stores, implementing the same tips and strategies that we're using that helped us do over $300,000 in sales last year. So you could check it out, linked below. If you do like it, it's just $1 a day after that. So we'll really help you go further, faster in your mission. It is our whole purpose for the group is to help you become a 6-figure seller, whether you want to quit your full-time job and go full-time reselling, or maybe you just want a little side money. eBay can be that platform. Reselling can be that avenue that can help you make the difference. So, Bass and Coffee, you said a few things. I just wanted to answer those questions before we hopped off. The only thing holding me back is sourcing or finding a consistent source. Hey, you're only as good as your source. I believe that your sourcing life is going to be a good indicator on how good it is to how good your reselling life is. So if your sourcing life isn't that good and you only go out once in a while and you just don't pay much attention to it, and you're so focused on listing and getting the items listed, and then you're wondering why your items aren't listing, it's probably because you're only going sourcing once a month. You're only going to that one thrift store once every week. You got to start mixing it up, changing new things, start posting on Facebook, start joining some buy and sell groups, start calling grandma, see what she's got in her closet, start calling junk removal services, start calling storage unit warehouses, start putting drop boxes all throughout your cities, start hanging bandit signs, we buy clothes, we buy junk, we buy whatever, on telephone poles. Start doing alternative ways to source, to start mixing up ways that you bring in inventory. If you start doing that, you're going to see your reselling life take off, because you're going to have so many items available to sort through to be able to pick and choose the best of the best. Though that is not how everyone should start, but as you get growing into the thousands, or you have 800 items, you need to start figuring out what are some different ways that I can bring in inventory without breaking the bank too. So, but hey, good store. Ivy says, really enjoy your channel, and I will be signing up for the coaching class. Cool. Yeah, I think I saw you comment. The reason why we wanted the 7-day free trial is it really isn't for everyone. We build the community on Discord, and we use Zoom for the live meetings. So that's, there is a little technical challenge for some people, and it just, try it 7 days. If you like it, that's great. If not, it's okay too. So it's not going to be for everyone. And I really love the small growing community we have going on. But yeah, we're here to help you. One way to get a guaranteed store review is by joining the group, because we are able to manage those reviews a lot better. But if you just want to get a store review on the channel, it may take a few weeks, as we are getting more and more every week. But hey, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Jason says, what do you think about Whatnot versus eBay? I think that Whatnot is, they're just two different platforms, right? So eBay is known as the biggest second-hand platform on e-commerce in general. So Whatnot is more for volume-based resellers, and I think that there is an amazing paradigm shift that you see going on right now, where the old way of doing things is kind of coming to a close, and the new way of shoppable videos, shoppable reviews, live auctions, that is going to be that paradigm shift of whoever kind of starts building their business that way, if they choose to do it that way, can take advantage of more of the people that are coming onto that market. So I think that everyone has a place. I don't see myself doing Whatnot, but maybe the next person down the line will do it. So it's not for everybody. It's more volume based. But I think it's creating a great opportunity to be able to sell a pair of Lululemon leggings and some sweatpants, wearing a sweater, drinking coffee, and you're having fun. So I think that there's a great opportunity to make six figures on Whatnot. There's a great opportunity to make six figures on eBay. You just got to figure out what avenue you want to choose. Though I do like the fact that you don't have to spend so much time taking photos, getting the listing done, washing the item, putting it away. Whatnot usually can solve a lot of those issues, right? So be more best. I appreciate you. Thank you. $5. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. It is a blessing to me and a dream come true, fulfilling the prophecy, right? Of, be able to provide value for people and help them. And then money just makes its way back. That's awesome. It's not needed, as far as like, you don't need to tip me anything. But when I do see it, it's just reconfirming to me that I'm in God's purpose with alignment. And nothing brings me more fulfillment than helping people. I'll just say that, and we'll leave it at that. But thank you. I will apply the information you have given me. Yes, and come back and check in. And if I did a store review for you guys in the past or today, come back in a month from now. Come back in a couple months, and I'd be glad to relook at your store to see how things are doing. If you guys want to know like kind of what is selling in my eBay store, and you want to know what items that I'm picking up specifically and what kind of the profit margins are looking like on those items, you're going to want to check out this video right here where it goes more in detail into those items. I do that for the next time that you go out sourcing. Maybe you can find some of those items as well. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your week and be blessed.